Hey, listen, buddy, can't you go somewhere else to fight? I don't want the police here.
Go on, give it to him. Oh, all right.
Hey, cut it out.
Hold this, Mark. See you later.
He comes here every night. We tried to throw him out yesterday. He lived on whiskey.
I bet he wants to take a trip.
Not on LSD.
And I don't understand what he wants, do you?
Well, that's the reason we brought you down here to find out.
Hey, you.
Well, don't come crying on my shoulder.
You boys better be careful of tourists like him.
He's not a tourist. Put her there.
He's sorry.
Listen, will you please take your coat back and put the whiskey away and beat it? This way, hurry.
Just like every woman loves you, as you love every woman, every happy, beautiful woman in the world. Oh, Joe, oh, Joe. But please don't say all the time, tomorrow's another day. Joe Walker, don't tell me goodbye, because I got lost without you. Oh, I love you, Joe Walker, just like every woman loves you. Don't you see how crazy I am? Have a drink and kiss me again. Oh, again, 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 again. But please don't say all the time, tomorrow is another day. Joe Walker, don't tell me goodbye, because I got lost without you. Oh, I love you, Joe Walker, just like every woman loves you. Don't you see how crazy I am? Have a drink and kiss me again, again, again.
Bring it with him?
He's carrying a black bag.
Hope that's it.
Welcome to Istanbul, Captain Rowland. I'm Alan Hood. I'm NATO's military advisor. I work with the U.S. Armed Forces in Turkey. This is Miss Joyce Sellers, the secretary to the Consul General.
How do you do?
Is that it?
Yes, that's it. If you could help me get rid of this thing, I'd be grateful to you.
We can relieve you of it upstairs, this way. I hope you had a pleasant trip.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, Captain Rowland, how do you like Istanbul?
The little I've seen coming in from the airport makes me want to see more of it.
Oh, well, of course, we can arrange that. It's no trouble at all. In fact, my brother George runs a tourist service. Joyce, would you phone him and ask if he would please set one of his prettiest girls aside for Captain Rowland?
Isn't the Consul General here?
He's to come back tomorrow.
Yes, he's attending a conference on next month's maneuvers.
Oh.
Could I interest you in a drink, Captain Rowland?
With pleasure, as soon as I'm rid of this case.
Well, why don't we have some of the Consul General's whiskey? And we'll see what we can do about releasing you from your precious cargo, Captain Rowland.
I'm not in the habit of wearing jewelry.
I hope it wasn't too annoying. I'll open the safe for you.
Mr. Hood, does anyone know the combination besides yourself?
Only the Consul General. Okay, Captain. I opened it.
Well, here you are, sir. Best wishes from the Pentagon.
But is it really true that it's worth over $1 million?
Yes. If you'd mix this flask of LSD with the drinking water of a major metropolis, you could have the whole population of a city completely paralyzed for as long as 24 hours.
What's the Army going to do with so much LSD?
Every important nation has a supply of it on hand. Joyce, put this in the safe. Thank you. We live in an age of such unconventional warfare, it's terrifying. If another war should break out, the enemy could demoralize our people with LSD.
I see. And how long will you keep the flask here?
I believe that at the embassy's next reception, the LSD will be handed over to the American commander in Turkey.
I see.
I'm sorry, sir, but unless you want to try some with your drinks, you should lock the safe. Cheers.
Hey, Fred, give me a glass of water, huh?
And one for me,
Miss
too.
Jenny Carter?
Water?
Who are you?
I'm Joe Walker.
What do you want?
Oh, I thought I just might go home with you, that's all.
Police again?
Do I look like a cop to you?
Okay, just a minute.
I'd like a scotch, please.
You a friend of Jenny's?
Well, I'm her friend as far as I know.
After the LSD?
I think I'd better stick to scotch. Thank you.
Whiskey.
Here's to you.
Listen, pal, you're making a mistake. LSD's tremendous for the intellect. You see things with sensitivity. Your life takes on meanings you never knew it had.
Why is it so peculiar that he asked for me? I know what he wants. They all want the same thing. What's so special about one more guy?
Did he ask any questions about the greenhounds?
I think he wanted some information about our supply of LSD.
He's from the narcotic squad.
Then it's obvious what has to be done. I may have to do it myself. You can help me, Jenny. Get him for us.
Why? What are you going to do with him?
That's none of your business. Kemal will send him on a trip. And after a while, he'll forget you, and he'll forget where he met you. Oh, yes, there is one thing you can do for us. You can see to it that he orders another whiskey. And as for Mr. Shapiro, he'll figure out a way to load it with LSD.
Okay, kid, let's go. Listen, Joyce, you're not...
Oh, I know, Kemal. You're supposed to replace the boss when he's not here, aren't you? You're absolutely right to use LSD. What a clever idea to put it in his whiskey.
But that isn't...
Shh. Last week, a tourist who was on top of a minaret took LSD and jumped to his death. Let's hope our man does the same.
Well,
You know, Mr. Walker, I think I'm beginning to like it. It's not a bad substitute.
there's nothing funny about it, Jenny. You're better off drinking whiskey than drugging yourself with LSD. It's much cheaper anyhow.
You do have a point there.
I hope my advice has some effect. Come on.
Just a minute, pal. I'm sorry to interrupt your little date, but you're coming with us.
What do you want?
I'm asking the questions, buddy. And I'm not in any mood to play around. First, I want you to tell us how much you know.
But listen, Kamal didn't say you should...
Leave it to me.
Look, don't you realize you've got the greenhounds on his neck? Oh, but all night long that jerk has been bothering me. He's a pest. We'll have to get the poor guy out of here. It's dangerous. Why? They want to send him on a trip for a while, that's all. It's not a round trip they have in mind. You know they took my brother on one of those trips, don't you? And my brother was killed by those men. He knew too much for his own good.
Well, I told you we were just going to go have a drink somewhere else, that's all.
Do you expect us to believe that? Come on now. I still haven't forgotten your playful caper last night.
Hold it.
What do you want us to do with them?
When I get to the bar, I'll pull that switch. It puts the lights out.
Now put away the gun, mister. When a person's under the influence of LSD, he has no control. Your whiskey was loaded with LSD.
Don't move or I'll kill you. You take another step and I'll kill you.
You've made a mistake, Mr. Walker. You've underestimated the greenhounds.
Come with me.
She'll pay for that.
Look, forget it. There are more important things to do.
Shapiro, go after them.
Kamal, will you stop worrying about a little scratch and get going?
I can't go. I can't. Oh.
They're opening the bridge. If we can get to the other side, we'll be safe. Come on.
Who is it?
It's George's car in the driveway.
What's he doing here in the middle of the night?
He drops in whenever he likes. He probably stopped because of my car. He's with that girl who's showing Istanbul to Captain Rowland.
We mustn't be seen here. Hurry up.
George just came in with a girl. They are in the hall.
My brother has his office here, and the consul's secretary is a very good friend of mine. That was her car in the driveway, so I suppose she's here.
Mr. Hood, I think I'd better wait outside, huh?
No, you stay right here. I'll be back in a minute. It's okay. Joyce? It's George. Joyce? Why doesn't she answer?
knew it. That fool Kemal let her go.
George will tell us where we can find her.
Right at our feet lies Istanbul, with its graceful minarets rising into the sky. And those classic cupolas, you see, were once the delight of sultans and pashas. And over there, rising above the city, are the turrets of the citadel Rimili Hasar, which have withstood centuries of attacks.
Well.
Are you happy with what you see, Captain Roland?
Oh, yes. Quite a lovely sight. And what you said about the citadel, you said it's often been under attack.
Sure, hordes of men have attacked the citadel, but they couldn't take it. Oh, I hope you don't mind. These shoes are killing me. I'm going to take them off.
Now, hold it, will you? Right there.
Weren't you hoping that you'd find an old friend?
Oh, I'd much rather be alone with you. Besides, he hasn't shown up at his hotel for 3 days.
I hope nothing's happened to him.
He drinks like a fish, so he's probably just getting over a hangover somewhere. I ought to get in the panorama.
Did you lose a shoe, miss?
Oh, thank you.
I won't be long, just another minute.
Hello.
Hi, Joe. Joe? Layla!
You think I frightened the poor girl?
No, of course not. It's natural to see people rising up from the dead. Happens all the time.
What do you know about LSD?
What's wrong, Joe? You don't look well.
You ever take a trip with LSD?
Yeah, of course I have. I came here with over $1 million worth.
No, I mean take this stuff.
I know what a trip is.
It was the worst thing I've ever gone through. I've been drugged. Ever since, I've been dodging the greenhounds.
Greenhounds?
Yeah. You got a cigarette?
Listen, aren't you exaggerating a little? Maybe you better go over to the faucet and wash up. Come back and we'll hear the rest of this greenhound story.
Now, what are you kind of a...
Mr. Roland,
Yes, what is it?
a minute ago I was eavesdropping on you. Joe wasn't making it up about the greenhounds. It's true. The greenhounds exist.
Thanks for backing me up, miss. Of course, you'd prefer to think that I was drunk again, wouldn't you?
Well, it's happened before.
We better get out of here. You're about to find out what a greenhound looks like. Hurry. Oh, my head.
If I were you, I'd go back to the hotel and clean up.
Yeah, sure.
When you're feeling better, I'd get to a doctor. He'll know how to put you back on your feet again. Do you know a doctor, Layla?
Yes, I do. A personal friend. He'll take good care of him, I'm sure.
I've got to get to the airport. The consul's coming, and I'm supposed to meet his plane. I'll see you after that at Layla's.
Okay.
Sure. Well, where do you live?
You won't have any difficulty getting there. You just cross the Galata Bridge up to where the houseboats are and jump onto the one that's called Layla. Okay?
Jenny. Jenny, what's wrong? Jenny, listen.
Okay, copper, leave her alone. She's off on a trip. Only this time it's final. You'll read about her in the headlines tomorrow.
Man with your talent should join a sideshow. Mr.
Eddie Shapiro. San Francisco, USA. Of course, to my pals, it's Little Sharpie.
Joe Walker, New York, USA. At home, I'm known as Kommissar X.
Now, isn't that funny? Only the joke is on you, Kommissar X.
I guess we must have misunderstood each other. I wanted to make a date with her. That's all there was to it.
Don't pull that stuff on me. I'm here to find out who you're working for.
The Boy Scouts. Every day we're supposed to do someone a good deed.
Your humor leaves me completely cold. We're not playing games.
Listen, I think you're overestimating me. I'm not as important as you think.
You won't find your pistol in that drawer. I took it out. I think you better spill it. Otherwise, you'll end up on a trip like the girl.
What have you done to her?
The green hounds don't appreciate stupid questions. Let me show you something.
Trying to make it look as if I drugged her, huh, Shapiro?
You catch on quick. You attacked her, she murdered you, and committed suicide with LSD. How to get rid of two birds with one stone.
Well, there's no point in murdering the two of us. Leave Jenny out of this.
I'll make all the decisions, cop. Hey, what are you doing?
I think I'll shave now, if you don't mind.
What good will that do?
I'll be honest with you, Shapiro. I've been paid a lot to get Jenny, and if you help me out, I'll split the money with you. You'll make just as much as I do. Then you won't have to keep bothering everybody.
You want to know something? The chief has arranged a really big deal. LSD worth over $1 million. Anyone who knows as much will end up in a coffin. And you know too much for your own good.
Tell me, how much are you going to get out of it? 5,000?
3,000, why?
What? I'm surprised you'd work for so little. I'd give you 5,000 if you'll do it.
Sure, let me see the money first.
You agree to it?
If you have the money, where is it?
It's right there, in the aquarium.
Then get it.
I should?
Yeah, you. Hurry up, stop stalling.
Now, for a West Coast gangster, you're pretty stupid. A friend of mine kept a revolver in his aquarium, and you have no
hold it.
idea what...
Hold it. You finish your shave. I'll get it myself. Here. So where is it?
It's buried in the sand, on the other side. Under those rocks there. Hey, I didn't know you were an expert. Is that a new dance? I'd join you, but my heart, you know.
What about her?
Let's kill her before somebody calls Inspector Raybot.
Your suit, Mr. Walker.
Come on, let's get out of here.
But we're terribly sorry. You expect us to
I'm very
wait?
sorry, but you'll have to be patient till we find you.
We're just going to have lunch on the
I
terrace.
have strict instructions not to let anyone out of this hotel.
There he is. There he goes. This way.
use those steps down there. Come on. Come on! Do you know that fellow?
He looked a lot like someone I know.
I thought you told me a while ago that the man was an American citizen.
Well, yes, but I could be mistaken.
You keep out of this. We don't need assistance. Do you understand?
Who is this guy, the local garbage collector?
Well, I'd like you to meet Inspector Ribbott, Captain Rowland, attached to the New York Police Department. And the Consul General might have added, sir, that the Chief of the Police Department of Istanbul cannot be addressed in that way. This is our business. Captain Rowland is welcome as a private citizen only. You have no official authority in Turkey.
I knew all along you weren't a garbage collector.
What did you want that man for, Inspector?
We arrived just as he was about to commit a murder, Mr. Hood.
I was told he is an American citizen.
Well, the man's a private detective. His name is Joe Walker, and he's from New York. However, there's very little chance of his escaping. My men will soon place him under arrest.
I hope so.
Your first bath. How do you like it? Looks like a visitor on the Layla, huh?
I thought you told me if I jumped off the Galata Bridge, I'd land right on your houseboat.
That was just a manner of speaking. And by the way, I'm not used to visitors at this hour.
Oh, that's not important. Can I help you with anything there?
The police are outside, Layla.
The police are here, searching the boats? Are they after you?
Me? No. Why do you say that?
You ought to hide your friend there.
Where can I hide you? There's no place to go.
Is this boat yours? No, it's not, but the owner's inside. In her bath, though.
The police don't care.
What are you doing here? Look the other way. Now, what do you want?
Did a man just come in here?
What do you mean? Visitors while I'm in my bath? I assure you, gentlemen, I'm not the kind of girl that allows such intimacies.
The man we're after attacked one girl already. Could be a killer. Don't take chances. The fellow is dangerous.
Will you please get out of here?
But I didn't touch her. Ah! Oh, stop it. I'm going. Just a second. Well, a gun.
A nice girl isn't safe with you.
Believe it or not, I'm innocent.
Let's hear it then.
Well, it won't make sense, but the girl was nude on the bed when I arrived. Now, what was I supposed to do?
You were right. It doesn't make sense.
It was the same situation you're in now.
No wonder you've got the police chasing you.
I don't get it. I suppose you mean you're afraid of me.
It's natural for a girl not to trust a stranger.
Oh, a stranger? Oh, now, you can't call me a stranger, especially since we took a bath together.
Mr. Walker, I'd appreciate your turning the other way till I'm dressed.
It's lunchtime, Bruno. Take it easy.
Tell me, who's the man on the deck of that houseboat next to yours?
Oh, that's Alman. He's the one who's going to take care of you.
I'm afraid she can't be questioned for at least 24 hours. In fact, we'll be lucky if she lives that long. She's in critical condition. It's a result of an overdose of drugs, I'd say.
LSD?
Very likely.
We're having a lot of trouble controlling LSD, almost as much as they've had in the States. We're doing all we can to keep it out of Turkey, but we're up against an international syndicate.
You said she was American, didn't you?
Yes. Her name is Jenny Carter. We'll see if she knows anything that might help us stop this traffic.
If any problems arise, you know my office. I'll be happy to help. What was her relationship to that detective? Was there anything between them?
I don't know yet. We'll find out as soon as we get our hands on him.
One good shot of this stuff is the best cure there is for an acid hangover. Are you ready?
How many of these injections have you given?
Just bend over, will you? I used to work for a vet in the mountains of Tennessee. And in all those years, I never had a single complaint. Never had an animal die, either. Perfect. Did you feel anything? You know experience counts in that game. Every day I did 200 of those poor little animals. I'm mighty proud of that.
I take it you never studied medicine.
Why, no, but I vaccinated plenty of cows. You'll feel a whole lot better half an hour from now. And if you don't, you come around for another one.
Oh, I'll feel better, don't you worry.
All of us in the harbor use Dr. Ullman. Whenever there's a sick pet, he comes around with his needle.
I always like a man who's got away with animals.
George give you much trouble?
He got very talkative when he saw the rats. What do we do with Layla? She knows too much, too.
Yeah, she'll have to be put away. We've had those weasels in our neighborhood for over an hour. If you can keep quiet, we'll find out what they're up to. We can't touch her while she's on her own boat. She's still well protected by the fishermen.
You're right, it wouldn't pay to mess with them. How about getting her somewhere in town?
The boss has it all figured out. We'll get her tomorrow.
Yeah, how? Every morning she guides tourists around Istanbul. Tomorrow morning she'll walk right into our little trap.
I'm on the trail of an organization that's smuggling LSD in from the States. It's dangerous not only for the people in Turkey, but it also might be employed against our armed forces.
So that's it. Someone wants to break up NATO's defense network.
It's no laughing matter, Joe. They stole enough LSD to gain complete control over our installation here for a long time.
Well, there's only one thing I don't understand. You've made no effort to get it back from the men who took it.
But there wasn't any LSD in the bottle they stole. I made sure of that. Up until now, they haven't found out about it. But when they do, they'll be out looking for me. You see, they'll know right away I've got the bottle, because they have too many well-paid informers.
Now I'm beginning to see what Shapiro was so excited about. He told me they had a fortune.
If you want to see your friend leaving, look out the window. Shapiro's out there. The greenhounds found out where you are. They want to kill you.
Kill me? How did they find out that I'm here?
It might have been from George Hood.
No doubt about that.
Where did you get that?
Straight from Shapiro. Whole conversation. Listen to it. I'll leave it with you.
The boss has it all figured out. We'll get her tomorrow. Yeah? How? Every morning she guides tourists around Istanbul. Tomorrow morning she'll walk right into our little trap.
The doctor is lowering a briefcase into the water.
Now listen, Bruno. I don't want you to untie that knot. Don't touch it, do you hear me?
I'll have a look.
Ullman's right, Layla. You better clear out. I don't want you guiding tourists tomorrow.
Well, my advice is to make your rounds as usual.
Are you out of your mind?
We'll have a chance to find out who the greenhounds are. We can surround Layla so she won't get hurt. I think it's the best way of handling it.
It's too risky.
I think he's right. As long as you protect me, it's a lot better than being holed up here. I think it's a good idea.
I don't like it. What about asking if Inspector Raybot would help us?
I'll speak to the inspector about that. Also about Jenny. They'd like to get her out of the way, too.
The consul's secretary, don't forget about her.
Okay, but how are we going to get rid of those jerks outside? They're sure to see us leaving her together.
Get your things, Layla. You're coming to my place.
Inspector Raybot hasn't talked to Jenny yet. They want to take her to a clinic. Up until now, she's still in a coma. But tomorrow she'll be able to talk.
What does she know?
Enough to put the greenhounds out of business for good. The inspector will enjoy pouncing on us.
She won't see a thing.
What are you doing here?
Come on, let's go. What about the girl?
Let them go. Come on, give me a hand.
Very.
Watch this. You look just like some Oriental Pasha, Captain.
You might add her to your harem.
Yeah. Miss Sellers, there's a phone call for you.
Will you excuse me, please? But how did it happen then? Sure, I believe you, but this thing has got to be done now. There's no more time. You stay where you are. It shouldn't take me a minute.
Captain, will you excuse me? Sure. Joyce, what's the matter? Anything wrong? Where are you going?
It's urgent that I go now. I'll explain tomorrow. bunglers! How could you? Just when everything was beginning to fall into place. If that girl so much as opens her mouth, it's the end of everything. If we don't deliver the LSD to the Valley of 1,000 Hills tomorrow, $1 million are gone.
For the chief. Not for us, though.
For all of us. Look, we have to see that someone keeps Jenny Carter from talking, and you can do that better than anyone else.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it alone. I need Shapiro's help.
Oh, yeah? That clinic will be swarming with policemen. It's too big a risk.
But they won't even know you're there.
Good trick if you're invisible. You know it won't work. You can count me out.
Don't give me that. Did anybody follow you?
I suppose it's Captain Rowland. Welcome to the secret headquarters of the Green Hounds, Captain Rowland. We didn't expect you so soon. That's enough for a start.
As Consul General, I know you are covered by diplomatic immunity, but I wish you would tell me the truth.
I'm not sure I follow you.
Our agents have discovered certain peculiarities, dare I say indiscretions, regarding the movements of your secretary, Miss Sellers. Can you tell me what they mean?
In any questions regarding my personal life, I'd be more than happy to oblige you. But where my position in the Foreign Service is concerned, I'm bound to secrecy.
I understand.
You mentioned my secretary, however. It wouldn't surprise me to find she's guilty of certain indiscretions, such as spending time with various unsavory characters. Surely that must sound very strange, coming from a career diplomat.
Well, I have heard that intelligence agents often seek out strange bedfellows, at least in all the novels. Is there any truth in what I have heard? Or am I to consider the girl innocent?
I have reason to believe it's quite true.
What? And in spite of it, you still keep her on as your secretary?
I love you, Joe Walker.
Hey, listen, buddy, can't you go somewhere else to fight? I don't want the police here.
Go on, give it to him. Oh, all right.
Hey, cut it out.
Hold this one, David.
See you later.
He comes here every night. We tried to throw him out yesterday. He lived on whiskey.
I bet he wants to take a trip.
Not on LSD.
And I don't understand what he wants, do you?
Well, that's the reason we brought you down here to find out.
Hey, you.
Well, don't come crying on my shoulder.
You boys better be careful of tourists like him.
Please don't say all the time. Tomorrow is another day. Joe Walker, don't tell me goodbye, because I got lost without you. I love you, Joe Walker, just like every woman loves you. Don't you see how crazy I am? Have a drink and kiss me again,
Bring it with him?
He's carrying a black bag.
I hope that's it.
Welcome to Istanbul, Captain Rowland. I'm Alan Hood. I'm NATO's military advisor. I work with the U.S. Armed Forces in Turkey. This is Miss Joyce Sellers, the secretary to the Consul General.
How do you do?
Is that it?
Yes, that's it. If you could help me get rid of this thing, I'd be grateful to you.
We can relieve you of it upstairs, this way. I hope you had a pleasant trip.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, Captain Rowland, how do you like Istanbul?
The little I've seen coming in from the airport makes me want to see more of it.
Oh, well, of course, we can arrange that. It's no trouble at all. In fact, my brother George runs a tourist service. Joyce, would you phone him and ask if he would please set one of his prettiest girls aside for Captain Rowland?
Isn't the Consul General here?
He's to come back tomorrow.
Yes, he's
Not a tourist.
Put her there.
He's sorry.
Listen, will you please take your coat back and put the whiskey away and beat it? This way, hurry.
He's attending a conference on next month's maneuvers.
Oh.
Could I interest you in a drink, Captain Rowland?
With pleasure, as soon as I'm rid of this case.
Well, why don't we have some of the Consul General's whiskey? And we'll see what we can do about releasing you from your precious cargo, Captain Rowland.
I'm not in the habit of wearing jewelry.
I hope it wasn't too annoying. I'll open the safe for you.
Mr. Hood, does anyone know the combination besides yourself?
Only the Consul General. Okay, Captain. I opened it.
Well, here you are, sir. Best wishes from the Pentagon.
But is it really true that it's worth over $1 million?
Yes. If you'd mix this flask of LSD with the drinking water of a major metropolis, you could have the whole population of a city completely paralyzed for as long as 24 hours.
What's the Army going to do with so much LSD?
Every important nation has a supply of it on hand. Joyce, put this in the safe. Thank you. We live in an age of such unconventional warfare, it's terrifying. If another war should break out, the enemy could demoralize our people with LSD.
Just like every woman loves you, as you love every woman, every happy, beautiful woman in the world. Oh, Joe, oh, Joe. But please don't say all the time. Tomorrow's another day. Joe Walker, don't tell me goodbye, because I got lost without you. Oh, I love you, Joe Walker, just like every woman loves you. Don't you see how crazy I am? Have a drink and kiss me again.